this is Susie. Welcome back to At Home with Susie. Today we're going to do all things regarding logs. That's right, logs. Not the type that you use in the fireplace, but the type that you eat. We're going to do 2 quick recipes for great appetizer or snack for you and your family. First one's called a salmon log. The next one's called a cucumber log. Cucumber log. I love cucumbers. Do you? Well, the first one's really easy, so watch this. In this bowl, I have put together 1 cube or 8 ounces of cream cheese. It's soft. And I have 1 can of Alaskan canned salmon. Now, when I open that canned salmon, I'm going to show you the canned salmon. It's upside down because I opened the bottom lid. But all that junk in there is the stuff that came out. I took this can, dumped it out on a cutting board. I made sure that the bones and the skin was not going to be added to this mixture. So I removed the bones and some of the skin. The bones are small, the skin is there. A lot of people mix it all together any way they like it, but I don't. So I took all that stuff out, and now I just have the canned salmon and the cream cheese. That's it. You can also add liquid smoke. Just a little bit of this will go a long way. So let's just pour like, I don't know, half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon. And it does pop open with a little squirt bottle. Let's get just a little bit in there. And now I'm going to take my fork initially to smash all this together. It takes just a second, but you're going to incorporate both the salmon and the cream cheese and that liquid smoke together. If you don't have the liquid smoke, no problem. Just leave it out. But if you're curious and want to go buy some, pick it up in the grocery store. I think it's with the ketchup and all of those really good things, Heinz 57. So I'm just mashing this together. All right, I have the salmon and the cream cheese smashed pretty good, mixed, incorporated together, all those good words. So it's looking pretty smooth, and the cream cheese is definitely mixed in with the salmon. So now here's the fun thing. Let's just put this over here. I have a cutting board with a cup of pecans, slightly chopped. So you don't want these to be fine, typically. You want them to have a little substance with them. But the goal is to take my salmon and roll it into the shape of a log and roll it into parsley and pecans. So the parsley and the pecans will be on the outside of the salmon log, and it'll look really pretty. This is a great one for Thanksgiving and Christmas, by the way. People always are surprised. They'll take it, they'll taste it, they'll think it's a cheese log or a cheese roll. They won't really know what it is, and they'll go, whoa, that's really good. And it is. And even for those who are not crazy about fish or salmon, they tend to like this. So I've got my cup of pecans pretty well chopped up, and now I'm going to use some parsley. Just some parsley flakes. I'm going to open this up so I can get more out faster. I'm sprinkling probably almost 1/8 of a cup on here. I want it to be almost half and half, but you wouldn't want to use a whole cup of your parsley. But when you look at the ball, you want to see a good mixture of both pecans and parsley. So this is all laid out here, and I'm kind of flattening it down so that when I lay the mixture of salmon and cream cheese on top of this, I'm going to kind of roll it in it. Then I'm going to place it and present it on a nice plate that I have sitting right here. And we're going to serve it with crackers. I think the best crackers to use are something like a Triscuit. They are a little bit more substantial to be able to dip into. So let's get this out of this bowl. It's obviously sticky. Creamy, sticky. And like my mom says, you got to get every bit out. All right, that's fairly good. That's finger looking good, actually. You could save that later and get into that. So let's just push that back. And now I've got this pile, and I'm going to get my hands a little sticky. So let's manage this. I'm going to kind of shape it into a log. You could do a ball if you want. And if you had this sitting in the fridge for a little while, it'd be a little bit easier to handle. I'm kind of shaping this, and then I'm going to start rolling it onto those pecans and parsley. Oh, wow, it already looks fabulous. Let's go back over here and grab some. I inevitably get a few pieces on the floor. I don't know how that happens, but if you're like me, we try our best to be neat and tidy, but there's always something to clean up. There's still more on the cutting board, so I'm going to try and get it into the outer edge of this ball and keep rolling it slightly. I'm very tender with it. I'm not pushing down hard at all. I'm just very softly rolling. Get those pecans in there. I also did the ends. It looks fairly good. Now, I'm going to take this and move it over to the plate. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Now, all this other goodness on this tray, I usually just dump it. I don't do anything with it. I just get rid of it, clean off the board. Let me wash my hands for a second, and then I'll show you how I plate this with the crackers. Okay, I have my beautiful salmon logs sitting on a nice platter. You could have a long platter, beautiful Christmas platter. Remember, presentation really helps when you're serving up appetizers like these. So I've got this nice, look, I mean, it's huge, right? And it's just basically two ingredients, plus this liquid smoke if you add it. But I've got these inexpensive Triscuit type crackers from Aldi's. They're firmer, like I said. Ritz crackers are really good, but they tend to break easier. So I just usually dump a bag of these around the edges. Now I probably would need a whole bag, but someone's been munching on some of these already. Some of them are missing. But that's okay. You get the idea. Put these around really nice. And then I recommend using some sort of knife, a nice appetizer pate type knife, and you can put it right in here if you wish, or lay it on the side. So let's just stick that in there so that people know exactly what they are getting or how to get it. And all you need to do is take a little bit, put it on that nice cracker, and I'm diving in. I always need a napkin. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, we have to move on to the other log. Okay, that is good. Oh. The flavors in your mouth are amazing. They just explode. Unbelievable. It's so simple. All right, so let's go on to number 2 log. Our number 2 log, I'm going to be using, my number 2 log is with a cucumber. So I only have a half a cucumber here because someone's been eating off of this thing too. It's been me. Okay. I needed my trusty peeler. And you could peel this first if you want to. So I peel my cucumber. Doesn't have to be perfect, just peel it the way you want. Now, there's 2 things you can do here. You can either slice this in rounds, so you have nice rounds that are great for your appetizer, or we can slice it in the middle for a log, and that's what we want to do. All right, so the cucumber has been cut like a boat, 2 halves. There's seeds in here. The typical cucumber does have seeds, but if you get an English cucumber, they're long and narrow and they don't usually have seeds in them. So I would typically scrape out the seeds here to make a little bit of a section inside the boat for you to sit in. Oh, no, for our goodness to sit down in there. So as you can see, I've removed the seeds. Very simply, I just took my spoon and dug down in right up against where the seeds are laying, and then I just scoop it out. Okay, now both of them have a little spot to add the goodness. So you can slice them like this, or you can cut them like a boat. And then in a minute, once we fill these, I will probably slice them again. I'll show you what I'm doing. I have some soft cream cheese and this amazing everything bagel seasoning that we get at Aldi's. Let me read the ingredients. That's why I have my trusty glasses right here. It has sesame seeds, sea salt, minced garlic, minced onion, black sesame seeds, poppy seeds. That's it. Pretty good stuff. And it smells amazing. So you can either put your cream cheese right on your cucumber and then sprinkle this on, but I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to actually take this and sprinkle it into my cream cheese that I'm going to be using for all my cucumbers. So let's just add this in here. I'll add quite a bit. I would say at least a tablespoon in this amount of, I have about 6 ounces of cream cheese here. And once you see it peppered in throughout all of the cream cheese, you can tell if you need more. You can always add more. Remember, you can't add less unless you go in there and pick it out one by one. So this just keeps stirring until it's all incorporated. Actually, the amount is pretty good. So this has got a wonderful spicy bagel flavor seasoning right down in the cream cheese. And now I just need to add it to the top of my cucumbers. Now these cucumbers are a little slick. They're kind of a little bit wet, so sometimes the cream cheese doesn't want to stay on there, but let's just give it a try. So you would make a batch of these and lay them along a platter. Oh, that's good. And you can also take the boats, fill up your boats right down in here where you would normally sit. There's one cream cheese person and there's another cream cheese person inside this boat. All right, so once you get them in there, then you can cut these down. So you can cut them down to large bite sizes. Just make sure they come apart really nicely and don't lose the cream cheese off of it. And then the last one. So let's grab a platter. You could set these, arrange them beautifully on here. You could add additional items besides the cucumbers. But if a plate full of these were sitting out for your family and friends, believe me, they would gobble it up. So I need to taste one, right? Let's grab this one. This is the best stuff. Everything bagel seasoning. These are so good. We have the beautiful salmon log, and we have the cucumber log, and we are ready to go. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. We love you guys so much, and we will see you next time.